For centuries, professional wrestling has had a rich history that spans cultures across the world. This history includes wrestlers that have achieved a level of celebrity that extends beyond their industry to become household names and cultural icons. These names consist of Hulk Hogan, Antonio Inoki, Ric Flair, The Rock, El Santo, and John Cena. However, the world of professional wrestling is actually far larger than those icons and the wrestling companies that provided the platform for that greatness. Professional wrestling exists beyond what you see on TV. Every corner of the globe, there are small businesses putting on wrestling shows, American Legion, stars, or anywhere else. These shows are filled with talented individuals from the surrounding area to entertain the local fans. Each one of them has unique stories about their journey to their dreams of becoming the next big star. Our show shares the stories of these wrestlers and anyone else that makes these grassroots wrestling possible. Across the ring. Across the ring, my name is William Mayhem Michaels.
And this is the scientist, Carl Schrupford. And today we're here with somebody who you might have seen on AAA, MLW, AEW, maybe even in your backyard, El Dragon Luchador. How are you today?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me here in your show and your podcast. For me, it's a great honor, and I'm excited for this.
All right, thank you so much for that, El Dragon. So, Dragon, what got your start in the wrestling business? I know that you started at a really young age, and you've been doing it for quite a long time. Where did you get your start?
Well, I actually started here in El Paso. Lucha Libre has run through my family for generations. I'm actually the first wrestler in my family, but it, like the love and the passion for wrestling runs in my family. My grandpa would take my dad over to Juarez. They would go watch shows out there, and my dad did the same thing with me. He would take me out and watch. I would go watch shows with him. It was like a bonding time kind of thing with my dad. So it was real special, and so I guess it started when I was real young. The passion and the love has always been there.
Most wrestlers kind of start as fans, and you often hear stories. You get to bond with your family, enjoying something together. What got you from being a fan and it being something that you do with your family to enjoy to kind of getting into wrestling yourself?
I was getting bullied a lot. I was an outcast. I never really had friends, and I was always getting beat up. So my dad was always, trying to put me in sports, basketball, football, karate, and nothing really stuck. So one day he came up to me and he showed me a newspaper ad, which was an ad for Lucha Libre here in El Paso. And he asked me if I wanted to do it, and I didn't hesitate, I didn't even have to ask me twice. I said yes. And the next day, he signed me up. We went, and the rest was history, brother.
How old was that when you signed up?
Oh, I was actually 12, I believe. I was 12, yes. And I became pro. I had my first pro match when I was 13 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
it.
So you couldn't even, you didn't even have your temporary pass to be able to drive a car, and you're already taking body slams in the ring.
Yeah, correct, man. It was crazy. And what helped me was my height. I was pretty tall. I've always been tall. I was skinny, but I was tall, so that's what really helped me a lot. My height. Like I said, I was skinny. I was probably like 120. Soaking wet when I first started. On my first match was actually in Roswell, New Mexico. That was my first match ever. And then the next, which was in April 19th, And then the next day, April 20th, I had my first match here locally in El Paso.
Wow. So, starting at so young and starting at 13, what was the reaction from like your friends at school or just kids at school in general? Like how did they react to you being a wrestler like that?
Well, that's it. It helped me be a little bit more popular, get more friends, But I mean, no one really believed it. No one really believes that a 13-year-old, in middle school is a pro wrestler. But I was living my dream. I was living my dream at that age.
So obviously, you said with your family, always been really big wrestling, you had to have a pretty strong support system, especially to start at 13. Who would you say biggest supporter when it came
Oh,
to?
my dad has always been, um, I think he's always been my biggest supporter. He's the one that I call right after a match. Whether it's a big match or a small match. I always call him and I let him know what happened, how it went, if I won or not. He always wants to know all that. Like I said, he's always been a fan of wrestling, and more than ever now that his son is, in the business.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's
My mom was, I mean, she's always, my whole family's always supported me. My grandparents, I can't leave them out. They were always at my matches, at my events. Now, they're a little bit older, and they really can't go out a lot, but they still support me. They're always asking me for videos, and always asking me for photos, show them stuff like that. My mom has always supported me as well, but she was always more afraid of what could happen, what could go wrong. um you know but
sounds like
she,
sounds like quite the mom, always worried
yeah,
about the baby.
exactly. I'm 28 years old right now, but I'm still her baby. I'm her big baby, so she still worries. But no, my whole family has always been real supportive of me, and I've always been grateful for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's great that you are fortunate enough to have so much support in your family. Not everybody gets to have that, and it's really great to hear that there are wrestlers that have a really supportive family as you chase your dreams.
Oh no, yeah, yeah. You really can't do this alone. You can't go through this journey alone. You need support, from your family, from your friends, from your loved ones, because wrestling could, give you a lot, but at the same time, it could take you away a lot. It can mess up your mental health, your physical health. You always need that support from your loved ones.
so
Absolutely.
the luchador style, say is some of your biggest influence as a wrestler? I know you've been doing it since you were 13, so
Mhm.
you've been doing it for 20 some years or close to
No,
it.
well, actually, the 19th of this month, it's gonna be 15 years. 15 years.
15 years. All right. We got one mathematician among us. So that's good. That's a good start. Awesome.
No, I just keep track. I'm not real good at math, but yeah, I just keep it. I keep track of this important event, of the important date for me. I think I remember that more than I remember my birthday.
Yeah. Hey, 15 years, that's a huge milestone. We're hoping to go through your career quite a bit, but since we're talking about it, what is your plan for that? Do you have, something that you're planning to do to celebrate that?
um, I really don't have anything special planned. Maybe for my 20th year anniversary, then I'll probably do something big. But for right now, just keep on trying to reach my goals, man. Trying to be someone, do something in the business. Like it's been 15 years. I've done a lot. I've reached some of my goals, but I still have some that I still have to get to. So I'm still working on it.
So, it's been a long journey, for you, 15 years coming on. That's a long time and a lot of memories. We've talked a lot about, your early years, your formative years coming out of school, being in, school still, while wrestling. In those early years, what were some, big moments for you or, influential people that you worked with?
Well, throughout my whole career, I worked with so many, superstars, big names. Like some big names that I've worked with are Chavo Guerrero. What's his name? Matt Cardona. One of
Okay.
them. El Santo, El Hijo del Santo, which is a big, big name, a legend out in Mexico. I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but Hijo del Santo. I got to work with him. Who just a lot of big names. El Felino out in California one time, which is a wrestler from Consejo Mundial. Um, just a whole list of wrestlers, and I learned a little bit of everything, or a little bit of everything from different people. Whoever I wrestle, I try to learn whatever style they have, or they have something new that I've never seen before, or something like that. I just try to get a little bit of everything, because that's what's pretty much helped me and build my career. All these 15 years. Learn any style, every style that I can. So the list just goes on. The list is long, man. Like I said, it's been 15 years. I could sit here and tell you, everybody I've wrestled, every match I've had is special to me. Whether it's been someone with a big name, or a local guy, I always try to, learn from them, and just make the best of it, because I'm here to enjoy what I do. So that's pretty much what I do. Enjoy.
So I recently got to see you wrestle here in Phoenix, Arizona, and you were wrestling Paradox, who's one of your students, and you were mentioning that you're coming back from an accident, and I kind of want to jump into that a little bit. When that accident happened for you, um, what were some of the things going through your mind as far as your career, especially having longevity that you have?
A show I was working in Mexico City with AAA. I don't know if you guys heard of Triple Mania, which is like uh, like the WrestleMania kind of thing, but for AAA.
It's one of the biggest shows of the year. I don't
Oh
think
yeah, of
you should
course,
ever miss it.
of course. So I was working that show, and that's where I had the accident. I was actually working a gimmick for Marvel Lucha Libre, which is El Furioso, which is kind of like the Hulk. So I was working that gimmick, and that's where that happened. I actually fractured my spine, my vertebrae, in two different parts. So I was out for like 4 months. I was supposed to be out way more, but I couldn't be in bed, not doing anything. I had to, start moving and doing my thing. So thank God, the recovery time and everything was quicker than we all thought. I think it's one of my worst accidents I've ever had, because it
Yeah.
was it was crazy.
What did you have to go through when it came to recovery? What kind of work did you have to do so that you could make it back in the ring?
Well, first of all, get some rest. Let my body rest a few months, and then after that, just a little bit of therapy. Try to get my feeling back in my arms and my legs. Start walking little by little. And then just after a few months, I started lifting weights. You know, started pretty much from the bottom again, and making my way back up. And what is it? What, it's been like 6 months already. 6 months, 7 months later, we're back at it. I debuted with AEW. I came back to Arizona with AWF. So I'm back, man. We're back better than ever. We're back in the gym, lifting heavier than we were before. So life is good, man. Life is good. We're back, and Dragon is here to stay for another few years.
That's what we want to hear. We want to see more of you. That's for sure.
Thank you, and we're training. We're training every day, to get better than we were yesterday, better than we were last year, better than we were, a few years back. Because the opportunities are still there, man. They're still reachable, and we're trying to get there.
How do you so you obviously train for yourself, always trying to get better. It sounds like you're always in the gym. On top of that, talking about students, it sounds like you're also spending time training other people. How do you balance that time between training others and training yourselves so that all facets of your life stay strong?
Well, it's hard, man. It's really hard, because you have to balance all that out plus family time. So I have a personal life as well. So it's kind of hard, but it's not impossible. I try to make a little schedule and try to make time for everything, because being in this business, it's hard. You have to train. Like I've said it before. I'm not just a wrestler on weekends. I'm a wrestler 24/7. I'm always thinking about. I have to go train. I have to go to the gym. I have to do this, do that, and then plus still have to worry about my family, and spend time with them. It's hard, but it's been a little bit easier now that I've kind of been slowing it down after my accident. Now I have a little bit more time to be with my family, and a little bit more time to clear my head and make a schedule for me, because before my accident, man, it was just crazy. I was up and down, no time for anything. So it kind of helped me to slow my roll a little bit and get my things together.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, sometimes it takes, a little sense of reality to kind of pull you back in and, reassess, what kind of things you got to be doing to, really reach your goals and have a balanced life.
Yeah. No, yeah, of course it's hard, and you'll get people, like my family that gets mad at me, like, no, you're never here. Yeah, you're always missing events and like family events, important events. So it's hard, the fans don't see that, they only see El Dragon up in the ring, but they really don't see everything else that, us wrestlers, or, us people that are in the show business or in wrestling, or, just on the road all the time, away from family. It's a lot, but the passion is what drives us and what keeps us here.
Absolutely.
So what's next for you as far as what's your next goal?
My next goal, uh, will either get signed with a big company. Um, doesn't matter what company it is. Just make a big company. Just be uh working in wrestling every day. Just make wrestling my work, not to have to worry about anything else. That would be a my main goal, I guess. But also I have other goals, like hit every big company that I can. Doesn't mean that I have to stay there, but at least wrestle, get it off my checklist. I don't give myself that much time anymore inside wrestling. Um, Probably another 5 years the max. I'm getting older. Body is not healing as fast and as well as it used to, and I have to take care of my body for for the future. So I have other plans, like my on my personal life, but right now, just at least try to get signed, and if I get signed, then who knows, maybe make my career a little bit longer than I'm planning as right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's it's quite the grind, with what you're doing now, trying to get your name out there, get your work out there. And a lot of times when, get that opportunity to, be signed somewhere, hopefully we'll take, some of that load off where, you can be on their schedule and kind of, be able to take a little bit of a breather. But you sound like a very driven person, so I have a feeling that you're always going to be looking for that little bit extra to make sure that you're on top.
Yeah, no, of course, we, I'm not gonna stop till I get to my goals, or unless it's time to actually stop. So we're ready. We're here. Like I said, we're back. We're training every day. So hopefully we get there soon enough.
I know you've had you mentioned wrestling in AEW when you came back. Was that your first match back?
Yeah, that was actually my very first match back. Yes, sir.
How did that come to you, especially it being your first one back? I mean, that's a pretty. I mean, I know it was in El Paso, correct, on AEW Dark.
Yes, correct. It was here in El Paso,
Yeah, so
and I was extra nervous. I was double the nervous. The nervousness was just killing me, because it was my first match back, my first match with AEW, so it was just all stacked up. But the the nerves didn't overcome the excitement. You know, the excitement was way too much. So it was an honor. It was awesome. You know, we don't know what the future holds, but you know, hopefully it's something inside that company.
That's awesome. It sounds like too, like it sounds like you've had a chance to wrestle in front of a few big crowds throughout your career so far. Um, you know, when you're wrestling in a big crowd, whether it's AEW, AAA, elsewhere, how do you have to prepare for that versus um, you know, early on when you're first trying to, break in and you're in front of shorter or smaller crowds?
Well, it's when when you're in front of bigger crowds, it's a whole different story, you know. But what's if it's smaller crowds, bigger crowds, what I try to do is try to like not let the people or the crowd overcome me, you know, like just kind of like ignore them, you know, make just get in the zone, concentrate on what I'm doing. You know, I'll bring in the crowd here and there, but I'll try not to acknowledge them too much because you know, acknowledging the crowd and seeing, you know, a lot of people there in front of you, all these eyes on you, it could you know, make you nervous. It could break you down. So I try not to let that happen. You know, just have fun and you know, just block them out for a bit. You know, that's my strategy. I don't know. Everybody's different. You know, everybody has their strategies, but that's pretty much mine.
Do you prefer performing for like AWF, PWL, SPCW, or in Mexico, or like on a larger stage? Like, which one would you prefer as far as your crowds go?
Well, anybody would prefer a, you know, a bigger crowd. Of course, you know, the adrenaline is more, you know, the excitement is a lot more. But at the same time, you know, smaller crowds are more how should I say, like more personal, more intimate. You know, it's more you could get more involved with the crowd. You know, you could see everybody's you can see more people's reaction a little bit better, you know. So each crowd has their you know, pros and cons. But you know, anybody that you would ask that, you know, they would say a bigger crowd, of course, because you know, bigger the better.
Of course. We've talked about companies that you've worked at. When you think luchadors, you don't think you usually think about Texas, you think about the South. How much have you been able to travel with your career, and where are some cool places that you've had to travel that people may not have expected?
Travel, you know, I've been traveling all over, you know, all over Texas, all over California. I've been Michigan, Louisiana. I've been to Nevada, you know, all over Mexico. Love to go to Japan. Japan is a big goal for me. You know, it's a big goal for pretty much any wrestler in the business. You know, getting to Japan is a big accomplishment. So that's one of my goals. You know, doesn't matter what company it is, but you know, Japan, get to Japan and you know, get my work out there. See what could happen.
I think we would love to see you in Japan. That would be a really cool thing for fans.
Oh no, yeah, of course. I would, you know, I would love it. I would love to represent, you know, the U.S. and El Paso and Mexico out there. That would be awesome.
Yeah. So we've talked quite a bit about your career, and about you in wrestling. When you're not wrestling, you know, what do you spend your time on? What are your interests outside of wrestling?
I have a little DJ system. I like to, you know, mix, you know, DJ, you know, get my mind off, you know, off the stress, off of, you know, everything. Um, I'm a big movie guy. I love to watch movies. What the gym is pretty much a big hobby, a big thing for me. You know, if I'm not doing anything else, I'll probably be at the gym. You know,
So,
um,
what's on your playlist?
my playlist.
When you're at the gym, what's your playlist?
Oh, man, I'll go from house music to reggaeton to pop to rap. So it would just be a big mixture of everything. You know, I'm not real picky. in my music, and I like it. I like pretty much anything, man. Anything that gets me moving.
As you said you spend time, DJing, for fun or whatever. Uh, would you make your own music to walk out to for wrestling? Is that something that you've ever thought about?
Yeah, I would do that, man. That's cool, and it would be cool because when you go to wrestle for like companies that come out on TV or they stream online, you can't really use any music that's copyrighted or something. So you need to get some generic music out there. So it would be a good thing, make my own music and not have to worry
That would
about
be pretty
copyright.
cool. Yeah, right.
But I don't know. I'll probably look into it later. When I have time to learn how to make beats and stuff like that. But right now, just mix music, and I'll make my own mixes for the gym and stuff like that, just for fun. So.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm a big music person myself, but I play guitar, drums, saxophone, piano, all that good shit. So
Oh, nice, man.
I'm a big
Then
music.
you know how to make beats too. It should be easy for you. Music.
Well, I made our intro, so
Oh, that's awesome, bro. There you go. Hell yeah. You should probably show me later on, man, how to make some beats.
I would love to get down and work on that for sure. That'd be a lot of fun. I love working with the mixing tables and stuff. I started doing that a little bit in college. My roommate was a music major, and he's the one that essentially started showing me. So, but yeah, man, I feel like music is a big part of just about everybody's life nowadays, right? I mean, without it, we'd be practically lost.
Oh
Um,
no, yeah, man. It gets you through the gym, it gets you through work, it gets you, through bad times, through good times. It's just music is just everywhere and it's everything, it's changes your mood. So music helps you. It's real
It's therapeutic.
yeah, therapeutic. There you go.
There we go. We've talked a lot about your career. We've talked about your beginnings. We've talked about your middles, some of your struggles with injury and overcoming it. We've talked about your life outside of wrestling, with some of your hobbies. It sounds like you're a family guy. I think, the last thing that might be on people's mind is, you know, what is the thing that you would want people to know to encourage them to come see you wrestle?
At the same time that we do this for ourselves, we do this for the crowd, for the public, for the people for them to go have a good time, to enjoy themselves. We put our bodies through a lot of pain, through a lot of injuries, just for the fans to go enjoy themselves. Like I said, this is not just for me. This is for the crowd, and especially lucha libre. It's part of our culture. It's part of Mexican culture. More here in El Paso, um, where lucha libre was pretty much born. Lucha libre was born here, was discovered here. A lot of people don't know that. So I do this with heart. I do this with the greatest intentions. Just to get lucha libre and wrestling out there, let people know that this is a great family sport, something that you could go enjoy as a family. And if you want to get into exercise or the fitness and all that stuff, or even if you want to learn how to defend yourself, wrestling and lucha libre could be an option for you. So if you know schools that have classes, and I encourage you to go try it out, go join. If you don't like it, well, then just go enjoy the shows. uh it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful sport.
Wow. Well, that's incredible. That's the kind of stuff we like to hear from wrestlers, and it sounds like your heart's definitely in the right place. And I can't imagine a fan that wouldn't want to cheer for you when you come out to the ring.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And even if they don't cheer for me, even if they don't like me, cheer for the other guy, but at least go, give it a try. And if you go to Mexico, you'll see how the crowd really gets into it. You'll fight. The crowd will want to fight you. That's how that's how deep they get into it. So it's beautiful. It's a nice thing. So if you haven't been to a wrestling show and you're watching us right now, I encourage you to go. I invite you to go.
Yeah, that's a pipe dream for me to head to Mexico and go watch. I want to do that so bad.
Whenever you guys come out here to El Paso, man, we'll cross over to Juarez and we can go to the arenas out there. They have a lot of shows out there. We're actually we actually opened up an arena, and it's an arena slash training center with PWL, with Pro Wrestling Legacy. We've been partnered up with them for what is it, like 2 years already. You know, they're great people, great wrestlers. There are a lot of young kids, a lot of young wrestlers that are, you know, trying to get their name out there and making you know, their career inside the business. So there's a lot of you know, upcoming kids that are real hungry, that want to be someone in this business. And PWL is a great school. They have great shows, and the arena that we opened up is awesome, man. Like it's an arena with a training center. So it's like 2 warehouses put together. We're gonna have weight classes. I'm actually a personal trainer, so I'll be giving you know, be training people, I'll be training kids, I'll be giving classes. So it's gonna be
There you go, guys. If you're looking at getting into wrestling and you are in El Paso, look at PWL. You could also hit El Dragon up, Luchador, on Instagram. I know a couple other guys that are in PWL. We got Aiden Colt, which we just interviewed, Cosmo, who's coming up, and I'm going to try and get with Gmo as well, and a couple other people I'm really interested in talking to. But that's it for this episode. My name is William Mayhem Michaels. My partner is the scientist, Carl Schwarber. And thank you so much, El Dragon, for being on our show.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you everybody that you know, showed up and listened or watched this through you guys' show. Thank you guys.